All right, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into this. No delay. Arch rivals Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, world champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and Sha'carri Richardson are set to face each other in the most awaited clash of 2022 track and field season. Now, first of all, let me say, Essentially Sports was the one that put this article out. And after reading the article, I thought this was blasphemy. I thought this was sacrilege. I thought the journalist that wrote this article needs to chill for a long time. But we'll get into the article and then we'll talk about this. So it says, in 2021, in the 2021 track season, track queens dominated the headlines with not only their extraordinary skills, but also with their intense rivalries. U.S. sprinting star Sha'carri Richardson had some of the off-field feuds with the Jamaican sprinting queens Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Elaine Thompson-Herah. As the track stars are slowly returning to their championship, the queens of the track are also preparing for their much-awaited clash. Okay, let's stop right there first of all. If you paid attention to the 2021 track and field season, you will know that it was a pretty storied season for Sha'carri Richardson. She went out, she performed good once, and then she was banned from performing any further in the Olympics because they had found marijuana in her system, marijuana being a banned substance. Now, of course, there were a lot of people that were saying, come on, man, it's marijuana. Leave her alone. Let her go. Let her be, right? And other things have happened since then where other athletes, European, mind you, have come up, tested positive for certain substances, and were still allowed to perform in an instance where Sha'carri herself was banned from performing. And we can argue about that all day. However, to call her queen of the track in the presence of a stellar star like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, I think it is unfounded. I understand that the article was probably written by an American journalist who favors their own athletes over athletes who are much greater than theirs, be it if they're from any other nation. And they want to pump Sha'carri up and make her seem as if she is among the greats. But she's not. The article continued by saying that Sha'carri Richardson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce will face each other this May of 2022. From getting fame after clocking insane time in the U.S. Olympic trials to facing a shocking ban, Sha'carri had a roller coaster ride in 2021, while on the other hand, the 35-year-old Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce had a golden year, winning Olympic medals and producing some remarkable runs. When Sha'carri returned to the field after her ban, fans had huge hopes for the young star. However, 22-year-old Richardson had an expected loss in front of Jamaicans as she finished at the last position, albeit 2022 is a new season, and Richardson has the perfect chance for redemption. Shelly and Sha'carri will compete at the Kippo Kaino Classic in Nairobi, Kenya on May 7th. It's a showdown, May 7th. Let's look forward to that day. But again, let's go back into this article. They said from getting fame after clocking an insane time in the U.S. Olympics trial, which is what Sha'carri did, and a lot of people looked forward to her shining on a world stage, and then she was banned because of that substance. After she took her little ban and she came back, let's not forget the taunting and the talking, because she herself was selling herself as a top athlete not to be messed with. And when I come back out of this ban, I'm going to burn the track up, right? And she came back. And she was not even able to compete with the slowest person on the track because she came dead last. When she met those Jamaicans again, she came dead last in the race. And I mean, forget the Jamaicans, because the Jamaicans came in first, second, and third. And I don't know why. I don't know why people continue to leave out Sha'carri Jackson. Sha'carri Jackson is that golden bullet for Jamaica. Without Sha'carri Jackson, there wouldn't be that 1, 2, 3 sweep, that gold, silver, bronze sweep. It would be gold and silver, which would be taken, of course, by Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and by who is now the fastest woman on earth, Elaine Thompson-Herah, right? But let's not forget that Jamaica also has Sha'carri Jackson. There is no competition. Sha'carri Richardson is not even as fast as Sha'carri Jackson. And this is not to say that Sha'carri is slow, but Sha'carri is the slowest of the 3 fastest Jamaican women. You're talking about Elaine Thompson-Herah, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and Sha'carri Jackson. You're talking about the Olympics gold, silver, bronze medalist sweep, right? Where in this does Sha'carri fit? When Sha'carri returned to the field after her ban, fans had hopes that she was going to run and set the track on fire, and she had hopes that she was going to run and set the track on fire, and for some reason, it did not happen. Okay, 2022, it's about to be redemption time for her, right? I'm predicting that the same thing will happen to her on this redemption run. Here's the thing. Count them for the Jamaicans. 4 Olympics, 8 medals, 3 of them are gold, 9 world championship golds at Real, Shelly, and FP is our latest entry for the Kip Keino Classic. Hashtag 3rd edition. The largest, the greatest female sprinter of her generation, and perhaps the greatest ever, is coming. Pick at Twitter. Kip Keino Classic Continental Tour at Kip Keino Classic, April 13th, 2022. This is the Kip Keino Classic posting this on Twitter that I just read to you. Should I read it again? The Kip Keino Classic, where Sha'carri Richardson is going to be meeting and running against Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, which will happen on the 7th of May, 2022, in Nairobi, Kenya. They themselves posted on Twitter, count them for the Jamaicans. 4 Olympics, 8 medals, 3 of them gold, 9 world championship golds at Real, Shelly, and FP is our latest entry for the hashtag Kip Keino Classic. Hashtag 3rd edition. The greatest female sprinter of her generation and perhaps the greatest ever is coming. April 13th, 2022. Kip Keino Classic. All right. They posted that on April 13th, right? That was just a few days ago. One of the most iconic moments, the article went on to say, of 2021 season was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce smirking at Sha'carri Richardson after Sha'carri had lost and was doing her interview. If y'all remember, Shelly walked behind her and she kind of did a smirk. She did. And a lot of Jamaicans laughed at it because we know what it means. It means basically this. It wasn't a disrespect. It was a shut up and do the work and let your work speak for yourself. If you know Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce over the years, she's not a loud person. She doesn't go about bragging about how many people she can beat and how powerful she is on the track. She simply trains hard in silence. And she gets out there and, like the little pocket rocket she is, she goes off every single time, right? She is always a sight to see. Whereas Sha'carri has a different style. Sha'carri talks a lot. She taunts a lot. She says a lot. She's flashy, you know? And then she gets on a track, and then there's nothing to back up the flashy talk. Notably, Sha'carri, in a savage move, made the picture her Twitter profile image, and she still has not changed it, is what the article said. Well known for her bold comments, Sha'carri Richardson also made an interesting tweet after the announcement of her participation, and she wrote, "If I don't say it, don't believe it." I don't know. Is that saying that she might not be at the showdown in Nairobi? If I don't say it, don't believe it. Now, while Sha'carri and Shelley-Ann's presence have been confirmed, there is still no news of the current world's fastest woman alive, who is Elaine Thompson-Herah, appearing at that meet in Nairobi, Kenya. And again, why are they leaving out Sha'carri Jackson? Because if Sha'carri is going to be there, then it's going to be a showdown for real. And it's going to be a showdown for the Jamaicans because they're going to be competing against each other. Not too many people have beaten them once all three of them are in top shape and are on the track at the same time. It usually ends up being gold, silver, bronze. Jamaica. Sweep, because that's what they do. Now, regardless, Sha'carri versus Shelley-Ann will be a fight that will leave fans with a nail-biting moment. And the article in Essentially Sports went on to ask the question, do you think that the American star, Sha'carri, will take her revenge and prove her excellence, or the Jamaican legend will dominate again? All right, listen, this article was written by Shreya Verma. And Shreya Verma is a U.S. sports writer at Essentially Sports. She is a post-graduation student in political science. Shreya is also a professional 10-meter air pistol shooter. They said that she takes after her athletic father, and she was naturally inclined towards the athletic life. However, I think Shreya should stick to athletics as in participating in it and leave the writing thing for a minute. Go chill somewhere for a minute. That article was butchered at best. Okay, for the simple fact that you did not mention Sha'carri Jackson, is that alone says a lot, right? Why are we comparing Sha'carri to somebody like this, a great athlete, someone who they have on a pedestal in the world of track and field as the greatest to have ever done it? We're talking about Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the most decorated female athlete. Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce, sprinter of all time, right? And then, of course, there's Elaine Thompson. But why are we comparing Sha'carri, who has not really won anything on a world stage yet, to somebody who has proven over and over again that she is that? She is it. Okay, Phoenix Rising says, how can they be arch rivals? One is a decorated Olympic and world champion, while the other has not won a single championship. Stop the foolishness. Bong Z says, you obviously haven't competed in any kind of organized league sports with a dumb comment like that. Muhammad Rahman says, how is his or her comment dumb? Please define what a rivalry is and what our arch rivals are. Sean Montague says, the comment might hurt, but it certainly is not dumb. She is nowhere near Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce's league, much more to be considered as a arch rival. J Max said, stupid ass clickbait, not even on the same level. Desperate headlines. Dre Day said, exactly. Richardson won at the pre-trials, and people act as if she's been winning at the Olympics and at the World Games. Her first time facing that level of competition, she came in dead last. Must y'all forget, or did y'all forget? Must I remind you that her first time actually facing top tier competition level on the world stage, she came in dead last. Chumper said, "It's amazing to see comments addressing everything except the premise of the article. A young sprinter banned from participating for an illegal substance and a Russian skater who was being allowed to participate for the same infraction. Jim Crow is still alive and well in America and in the Olympics. This is one of the most blatant examples of systemic racism that I've seen in a while. And I agree. If anybody else was banned, just like how Sha'carri was banned, then it would be fair. But we do have a case where a Russian skater, committed the same infraction and was still allowed to participate and was not banned. And no one is talking about that. But that has nothing to do with this. This is the rivalry, whether it's imaginary or it's real, between Sha'carri Richardson, which is an American sprinter because she represents the United States of America, and Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Shericka Jackson on that track. Mohammed Rahman says, arch rivals means that they have similar accomplishments, or at least have beaten each other a couple of times back and forth. As far as I know, one has a ton of medals at the highest level of competition, and the other has squat. A rivalry, it is not. Now, as the Jamaican is nearing retirement, speaking of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, maybe the American Sha'carri will have a chance. Maybe, as Shelly is nearing retirement. But I would not bet on it. And my prediction is when Sha'carri, Sha'carri's been quiet of lately. So maybe she's quietly putting in the work. Maybe she really is ready. You know, Usain Bolt sent a message out to her and told her to quiet down a little bit and focus on the running part first. Once you get the running part down pat, then you can brag and say all you want to say after, but it has to match up. And she did go quiet after that. I mean, when the fastest man on earth, most decorated sprinter of all time, gives you some advice in the sports that you're in, which he is in, you want to take that. But my prediction is, come time for Nairobi, come time for this meeting, come time for the Cape Kino Classic May 7th, if Sha'carri is on the same track that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is on, she's going to get burnt. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. Hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. I'm out. Peace.